Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the EWC, the Esports World Cup 2025 Asia Closed Qualifier. I'm of course just VIP, and with me I'm joined by these amazing players, by the people in chat, and by my plushies as well. Welcome one and all. I do apologize for again the shaky broadcast that we've had here tonight with, you know, waiting for 2 hours for the patch to complete, for some delays, but now we are here. We are ready to continue our run in the closed qualifier. We just wrapped up with Silky versus Nice. Nice is out. Nice is out in East Protoss. He is out of the tournament, and now we are down to our top 4 players. We have Firefly, we have Silky, we have Lemon, we have Lancer. 4 players remain, 3 Protoss, 1 Zerg. Can we stop the non-stop PvPs? So far Silky did deny that, at least initially. Can he do it again? We're here to find out. We're here to find out. Again, Silky versus Firefly going to be coming up next in a best of 5, and we are ready to jump into game number 1. If you're in the chat, predictions will soon be open. We'll get there as we are jumping right on in. And in the bottom left corner of ley lines, we have our Chinese Protoss player. We have the red Protoss. It is Firefly. And spawning into the top right hand corner, we have the blue Zerg player from the land of China. Oh, representing Team Super Kitty, it is Silky. Oh, the zooms, baby, let's go. Shout out to Indy, of course. Indy is going to be observing for the main stream and for the clean feed as well. Beautiful. As music does come back in. But again, we are jumping into our series, and if you're in chat, prediction time. Get your gambler going while you can, as we do step into our best of 5. Now, coming into this, Firefly is the favorite player. That is true. Firefly, he is a beast. He has been rising through the ranks of the Chinese scene. He was, I would say, at one point, the best player in China. I say that. I mean, to be fair, Oliveira was active, you know, when Firefly was committing to StarCraft, so I would have said that Firefly was maybe top 3, maybe top 2. But Firefly did take a very long break from the game. He recently came back for EWC, and he's still kind of shaking the rust off. He's still shaking off all the rust. We'll see how he compares to Silky. Silky is a very aggressive player, as you saw in the last series. We saw a lot of Ling aggression. We saw a lot of fast tech as well out of Silky, rushing into mutas, rushing into Hydras, for example. Silky is very, very high pace, very aggressive, and again, it comes down to Firefly to keep up with the pace of Silky. We'll see if he can. We'll see if he can. Also, I guess for greater context, Lemon is waiting for the winner of this match. And these are going to be purely best of 5s. There it is, Stargate opener out of Firefly. So far, so good. So far, a standard opener from our Protoss player. Stargate into Oracle, I would imagine. If you remember, Nice, he was very often going for hidden Stargates behind his bases, behind his mineral line, and going for Void Ray openers instead. You can see here, based on the pylon placement, the chances of this being Void Ray is a lot lower. A much lower chance of this being Void Ray, a much higher chance of it just being standard into Oracle, as the Stargate is closer to the main base of Silky, closer to the edge of the main of Firefly. Silky going for his third base, still just droning. We are going to be keeping our eyes open here at around the 4-minute mark. If you recall, standard lair timings are around 4:30, but Silky has been going for a lot of 4-minute Roach 1 timings instead. 4-minute lair timings instead, 30 seconds faster than normal to go into fast tech. We saw in one game that led into Spire, we saw the other game led into Hydras. Here we go. So again, our eyes are going to be on Silky. Overlord is poking in. Overlord does poke in. First Oracle moves out. Silky does confirm the Oracles. Behind this, spore production has begun. We have our first 2 spores on the way. Queens should be in position, and we'll see what the Oracle can achieve here. Heads into the natural. We have 2 queens in the natural base. I believe 1 queen in the main. 3 in total. And so far, so good. It does commit. It gets 1 drone. Gets 1, gets 2. And does not get 3, but 2 workers go down. A nice start here from Firefly, but again, he's hoping for a little bit more damage. Likewise, Lings, they do hit the 3rd. But alas, Firefly is also in position with the second Oracle, and we have a third Oracle on the way. So very safe play here from Firefly, going triple Oracle. Behind this, there it is, 4-minute lair. We spoke about this earlier. The lair has been, we have seen Silky get the lair very, very early on so far in this previous series against Nice. Does it here again as well. Now, with the fast lair, what does this entail? We spoke about it earlier. This could be fast mutas, this could be fast hydras. Or we could even double down and go for an early rush timing with Roach speed, but I'm leaning towards either Hydra or Spire or Mutas. It's typically one or the other. Gases are being taken. Safety Roach Horn on the way from the side of Silky. You can see here back there, Firefly taking his gases, going for his Evo chamber, so going for his Forge. Forge on the way, Twilight Council looks like +1 and Blink. Standard follow-up here out of our Protoss, out of Firefly. Oracle's very good. Oracle's a good eyes on the timing here with the lair. He does know. Does recognize going for the Queen. Queen does survive. Queen does make it out, but I can't say the same for the drones. Oh my god. Yeah, a lot of economic damage being done. 4 drones going down. Lair is now done. Initially going for the Overseer Scout, and there it is. Hydras. So we have the answer here. Oh, the efficiency. Firefly hasn't lost a single unit. 6 drone kills in total. Overlord alongside a couple of Lings. Meanwhile, Silky does counterattack. He does get into the mid-line, but so far the probe drilling is on point. Still losing 2. 2 probes go down. And again, we're rushing into Hydras. Now, once again, just to reiterate, this is not just your typical transition into Hydra. This is a very fast Hydra den, and there are no upgrades. There's no Evo chamber for Silky. So this is more committed. If you recall, last game, I read this as an all-in. I read this as the solar all-in where he does max out on pure Hydra, and he cuts workers at 66. But if you recall, because last time we saw this, Silky was delayed in his economy, he did actually throw down Infestation Bit, and he teched up into into Hive Tech, into Lurkers. There it is, Lurker Den. So the purpose of this build from the side of Silky is to rush into Lurkers early on. So fast Hydra Den into fast Lurker Den into fast Lurker timing. Again, the sacrifice or the thing that you lose by doing this is you do lose your upgrades. There's no Eva Chambers. Upgrades are going to be lacking here in favor of Tech. So there is a give and take. There's a give and take here for Silky. And again, his goal is to end the game with that Lurker timing. We saw he was able to pull this off against Nice. Can he do it here against Firefly? Let's see if he can. Meanwhile, the Oracles, they do hit the 4th. God damn it. I can't. Even when I'm not observing, I can't escape the diva. God damn it. And so here we go. The 4th base is denied. Lings are amassing. It's an all-in. This is a Lurker timing all-in here from Silky. He's massing up Lings. He's not droning. Again, he cut workers at 64, not even 66. The 4th base was only going to be for Larva, but he doesn't even have that Larva. As we have 3 Lurkers morphing in. You see Silky trying to commit. I believe he doesn't have Hydra speed. I believe only Hydra range. Oh, no, he's still speed. Yeah. He has speed, but not range. That's it. So no Hydra range here from Silky. Just mass Lurker. Lurkers are moving in, but he's up against triple Oracle. Like, there's plenty of detection. Plenty of revelations. And here we go. We have the 5 Lurkers. They come in for the flank. They dive on the base. Ooh. And so far, going for the Nexus itself. Base is under fire. Takes down some of the gateways. You can see Firefly is quick to just abandon the base. Gets the hell out of there. Again, the SimCity is working against Firefly, as Firefly can't quite engage in these choke points. He has to engage out in the open. Thankfully, Firefly does already have a backup 3rd. Ooh, Zell's ready for a surround. A charge finishing up in 4 seconds. The charge is now done. Ooh, and Firefly can sandwich the army. Until then, the Zealots are just now moving in. Yeah, they're now going to be collapsing in the Archon from behind. Zealots a charge on forward. There's a revelation. And Silky's going to be cleaned up. He will lose everything. Ooh. We're running out of revelation, though. 2 Lurkers. They're hidden. Yeah, there's 2 Lurkers hidden, but there we go. 1 final revelation. Final Lurkers are going down, and Firefly holds. He does hold. He does shut this down. But he will lose 14 probes in the process. He's down to 46 workers. Silky has the economic lead. Hive is now on the way, but there's no army. Like, the problem is that, sure, Silky crippled the economy, but Silky has nothing left. He lost all the Lurkers. He lost all the Hydras. And now's the time. He has to counterattack. Now's the time to counterattack. Firefly is going to go for it. He's going to send it. There's 2 lurkers on the way. Firefly, ooh, he does spend time on the 4th base. I believe he has enough to break through the main army, especially with all these charge lots. Remember, there's only 3 Hydras. But the lurkers are about to finish. Firefly taking it slow. Yeah, Firefly taking it very slow here. And now the lurkers have arrived. Silky, enough time for lurkers. I spoke too soon. He goes to the dive. He dives in, lifts up 1. Zelsa getting caught behind the stalkers. But there's plenty of Archons. And with that Firefly, he is doing it. He has done it. He breaks through the Queens, breaks through the Lings, gets over the Hydras. Hydra exposed. Hydras, they're so fragile. They do take down 2 of the Archons, though. Nice pickoffs. Okay. Oh, good. But the Chargers have arrived. Nice kiting here from Silky. Firefly, he was wasting DBS on the hatchery instead. Still very close. Very clutch. Supplies are neck and neck. The supplies are so close. 4th base goes down. With a 4 base setup for Firefly. 3 bases for Silky. Firefly pulls away. We're just pointing out the upgrades. There's still no Hydra range. +1 range finishing up. Your Indy, he's very very adamant about Hydra range. He's like, God damn it. They're so short. Smooch. Well, as we go for a massive warp into the main. And Firefly into the main base. Does get into the mineral lines. Drone's going to be going down. Dealing so much economic damage. 8 workers do fall. Hive is revealed. And what tech do we go for? Okay, we're going to be pulling back. Meanwhile, all the lurkers are on their own. And you can see how quickly they fall. Lurkers, they do a great amount of damage, but they cannot tank. As every lurker gets cleaned up, at least at the 3rd base. 21, 23 drone kills. And with that, Firefly has done it. He has done it. He has broken the back of Silky. Snowballing out of control. Takes down the 3rd. Still active in the main, still keeping Silky pinned. 3rd base goes down, a charge lets you just dive on the Hydras. And there is detection. Yeah, the detection. GG gets called, and Firefly, he will take game number 1. Whew, GG. Firefly does take the first game, does take a lead in the series. Again, a very, very intense game 1. Very back and forth. Silky had his own moments in this game, that is true, but really patient play out of Firefly. At times, I would say a little bit too patient, I'll be honest. There were definitely times where I feel like he could have been a little bit more assertive, especially when it came to his counterattack, but regardless, still took it slow and still did do well for himself. Still overwhelmed. GG. GG, well played. Very impressive play there by Firefly. Silky, this is not the first time that we've seen him rush into lurkers in such a way. He did so in game 5 against Nice, so we just saw this 2 games in a row at this point, and we've seen it succeed. We've also seen it fail here. It wasn't just that the push failed, but unfortunately, if you remember, he was forced to cancel, or his 4th base was denied. So less reinforcements, less lava to work with. Of course, Indy was pointing out the lack of Hydra range. If Hydra range was a factor, honestly, that could have been game ending or game deciding as well. Like, it would have added so much more value to those Hydras. That would have been so much more efficient, would have killed so many more units as well, or potentially would have killed more units. So there's definitely a lot there that was very chaotic in that game, and with that, GG well played. Firefly does take a lead in the series, but we have plenty more games ahead of us. Game 2 is going to be on Tokamak. Tokamak is going to be game number 2. Tokamak, of course, being one of the larger maps in the map pool. Much larger map, much more defensive as well. And does lead to longer games. I do favor Firefly coming into Tokamak. I did favor him coming into Leylines. There are certain maps that do favor aggression. Maps like Pylon, maps like Ultra Love. Those are the 2 maps that I do favor Silky on. But on a more standard macro map like Tokamak, that's where it's going to be difficult. That's where it's going to be difficult to break a player if we want to be aggressive. Now, there are other ways to approach this. We did mention on Maganatha how Maganatha is known for Spire play, and we did see it. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Spire and Muta play out of Silky here on Tokamak as well. Like, this map does kind of lend to that. And here we go. This morning, in the bottom left-hand corner of Tokamak, we have the Chinese Protoss player. We have the red Protoss. It is Firefly. Waiting for the swish. The swoosh. There it is. Yo, and he's so quick with it. He like dips in, dips out. Say, huh. And in the right hand corner of the we have the Chinese Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg. It is a Silky. That one he held a little bit longer. And everyone, well, the observer, they have their own styles. They have their own tendencies. But we are good to go. Looks like there was a... Ooh, yeah, looks like the clean feed is looking a little bit shaky, but should be okay. Should be okay. Yeah, God. The clean feed a little bit dirty, but hopefully it does stabilize. Here we go, as we are settling in. So far it is going to be a standard opener here out of Silky, going hatch gas pool. Likewise, Firefly going for a gate expand into a cyber core, so everything's looking as it should. As we are settling in. Again, so far there's a Stargate out of Firefly. Once again, committing into a much more standard opener. And again, we don't really expect any kind of major deviation out of Firefly. Like Stargate opener into Oracle into +1 blink Stalker. I mean, it's what we expect. That's what we're expecting out of Firefly. Again, the pressure is more on Silky. Now, last game, again, we did see the 4-minute lair, and if we see that again, I'm heavily going to be leaning towards the idea that it's going to be for Spire and for Mutas. Otherwise, we could just see a standard game. Or more like standard setup. But now, we're droning, we're saturating. The initial timing, of course, is going to be the Oracle timing. The Oracle's on the way. Last game, the Oracle got 2 drone kills, 2 workers did go down, and it's going to be up to Silky to minimize losses and to be a little bit more prepared for those Oracles. Yeah, a little bit better prepared here. So now we do have the initial Oracle on the way. Does zoom across the map. The queens are going to be amassing here for Silky. The queens are on the way. Spore as well. As Lingze do hit the third. As the Oracles move out, Lingze punish. The Oracle's still on the way. And can we force a cancel? Shouldn't be able to. The Oracle does get here in time. And with that, Firefly holds. Will be forced to cancel a pylon, but just a pylon. But this actually forces the first Oracle back home as well. So this could have been defended with 1 Oracle, but the second Oracle chases, and that means that Silky takes 0 economic damage. Nicely done. So no drones go down this time. Gases are being taken. Again, it's going to be +1 and blink. Standard follow-up. And this time, Evo Chamber. We've hit 420 mark at this point. No fast lair. It is going to be Evo Chamber first here out of Silky. Most likely into +1 melee. Safety Roach Horns on the way. So we're not rushing into Hydras and we're not rushing into Spire or into Mutas. This is a much more standard setup. So no fast tech. Which means we have upgrades. We have Roaches. We have a mid-game. At least for now. Of course, there's always a chance here that Silky does double down and does commit. Always a chance. As if there it is, +1 melee, as we did expect. Because melee is on the way, this does typically mean that we will not be going into a heavy commitment to Roaches. Usually it's a safety Roach one here, and from here we can go into Ling Hydra, into proper Hydra upgrades. The lair has begun. Lair has begun. Lings, they will hit the third. Once again, Oracle's in position. Looks like we are commencing some roach production. Yeah, we have a couple of roaches on the way just to be safe, but again, no roach speed. It's mainly Ling. It's very Ling heavy here from Silky. Okay, there's gonna be a lot of Zerglings. Okay, the goal should be to break the third, or at least get economic damage. We also saw this against Nice, if you recall. I think it was game 2. I think game 2 between Silky and Nice, no, if I recall correctly. On it was on Incorporeal, I believe. Firefly's being active. Little does Firefly know, he's going to be walking into a massive swarm of Zerglings. The Zerglings have been building up. And they try to engage. Meanwhile, it's going to be, I assume it was going to be Ling into Hydra, if you recall, but no, this time Ling into Mutas. Spire is on the way. Bold move here by Silky. Very bold move. Lings try to engage. So far, Firefly does kite back. Does kite well for himself. Charge on the way. So we do see Firefly committing into a gateway heavy composition. No splash damage yet. No Storm, no Colossus. Just purely Stalker Zealot for the time being. As Lings are attempting to engage. Once again, as Link control, this Aces does not quite connect. And Firefly playing with fire. He does pull away. You can see here the drone count is quite low for Silky. He's very committed. But because of all this aggression, because of all these engagements and clashes that have been happening, no scouting into the main, which means the Spire is undetected. So far, the Spire has been unseen. He sees and knows nothing. We have 10 Mutas on the way. I say that there are cannons in production here, depending on where they are. I mean, he might have an inkling of what's going on. As we are committing here. +1 air attack. Likewise, we have +2 melee as well. That means that we don't want to waste any gas elsewhere. It is mass muta. And this can be mass muta into Ling into Ultra Tech. So there's the infestation bits. Into the hive. Mutas are revealed. Now he knows. Now he knows for certain. Prism goes down. Mutas a counterattack, but that is a hefty ground army. And the Mutas, sure, they can counterattack, but can Pure Ling defend? There's no Banelings. There's no Banelings. There's like 2 roaches. And no, we might just walk in. He recalls. He does recall back home. We could have forced the base trade, but he does recall back home. He defends. He deflects the Mutas. Lings that hit the third base. But I want to say this is better for Silky because I do not favor him in a base trade. I was not favoring him in a base trade. In the end, Firefly does race back home. He still gets 13 drones. Look how much damage these Zealots are doing. Again, there was nothing at home to defend. 16 drones. The economy gets crippled, and now Firefly pushes. Now, bear this in mind. Now recall's on cooldown. Recall is now on cooldown. That might factor into this. But again, like, I don't see an answer to this army. Like, there's nothing. The Lings and Mutas, what are they going to do? They're going to die. They cannot engage into these Archons. The base is going to fall. Zealots get into the mineral lines. And with that, probes are going to be falling. Probes going to be falling. Mutas, they bust into the mineral lines. And sure, probes are going to be going down, but alas, everything's on fire here for Silky. Losing mineral line after mineral line, base after base. Firefly, he can't recall. True. Cannot recall here. We have some Banelings to defend, but they can't really engage into Stalkers and Archons. It's just not going to end well for them. Third base does survive. The Nexus are still standing for Firefly. The Mutas, it looks like they're racing back home. They can't help deal with the Zealots at least. But the Archons, they respond. And Silky, he cannot touch this main army. He shouldn't try. He's going for it. He commits. 2 volleys go off. GG gets called. And Firefly, he will take a 2-0 lead in the series. Ooh, GG. GG, well played. Firefly, he will take a lead in this series. Again, Silky going into a mass muta composition. It did go unscouted, if you recall. The Spire was unscouted, but Firefly, he was building up towards a heavy gateway army anyway, into Stalker, into Charge Lord, into Archons. No Storm, no Colossus, no Immortals, just more heavy gateway composition. And unfortunately, mutas, they're designed to harass, they're not designed to fight. They're not designed to fight head on. There was no answer to that main army. And we saw a moment we could maybe force a base trade, and we kind of did, I guess, towards the end. But in the middle, we did see that Firefly committed to the recall. He recognized that he'd be safe. He recognized that he could only peel off a couple of Zealots, and they would excel across the map, and they did. It was a couple of Zealots, and they killed 16 drones. It was crazy. And then he could just move out. So no rush there for Firefly. GG well played. He does take a 2-0 lead, and we'll see if he can claim the series 3-0 or if Silky can fight back. I believe he can fight back, but I would say that the problem is that Silky is a little bit... He's, what's the best way of putting it? He's a little bit predictable. Silky is aggressive, that is true, but he's not like a Miyamika. Like, he doesn't have, like, 10 different builds up his sleeve. We've seen rush into Lurker, we've seen rush into Muta. That's kind of what we've really seen out of him. Like, we haven't seen too much diverse play. It's been very tech heavy and very committed, whether again it's rushing into Lurkers or rushing into Mutas. Those are the two big kind of plays we've seen out of him. And yeah, as a result, we've seen Firefly excel against that, excel quite hard. But we'll see if Silky can mix it up a little bit further. This is only like 12 pools. It's like 12 pool drone pool. Let's go, baby, let's go. We'll see how much more committed he's going to be, and we'll see what build he falls back on, or if he has something else up his sleeve. The pressure is on Silky. Pressure is on. Game 3, Pylon. Ooh, okay. Now, we spoke about this previously. There are certain maps that favor defensive play. There are other maps that favor aggression. Tokamak is all about fortifying yourself on 4 bases. Like, it's very difficult to break a defending 4-basing Protoss player on Tokamak, and we saw that from the side of Silky. Just could not do it. But as we load into Pylon, Pylon is a smaller map, shorter rush distance by ground, more exposed bases. On Pylon, it is not uncommon. It's quite common and quite popular, actually, to see Lane Queen walks across the map, German taxis across the map as well, Lane Queen Nidus all-ins. We've seen a lot of aggression, a lot of all-ins on this map, and here we go, spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Pylon. We have the Chinese Protoss player, the red Protoss, leading the series 2-0. It is Firefly. Oh, we're waiting for the swoosh. Oh, almost. There it is. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the Chinese Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg down to the series, but not out, not yet. He's here to force that ace match. He's here to start the comeback. It is Silky. Again, Indy, he pokes in, like he he dips in, dips out. Never knew he was there. Let's go. Better than others. There are definitely some other observers that they don't even zoom. Just look once over and then go to the other side. I don't. But let's go. Okay, now what I will emphasize as well is that we spoke about how, oh, you know, aggression is favored on Pylon, and we can see a lot of all-ins here. That is also applicable to the Protoss. The Protoss player can also commit to aggression as well. We have seen a lot of successful Glavedet play here on Pylon. We've seen a lot of successful 3-base play here as well, going for early charge timings, going for early blink timings, and into 3-base all-ins. So it does go both ways when it comes to how aggressive you can be on Pylon. Does go both ways. Here we go. So now we're calming down and we're stepping in. Now we do not expect to see Spire play on Pylon. We saw how Firefly snowball out of control on Tokamak. On Pylon, a counterattack will take even less time, so it is even more risky to go into Mutas and go into Spire here. It's not the play, typically. So I have to always add the disclaimer that, you know, sometimes players are crazy and they do it anyway. They just gamba. If it's least expected, then commit and catch him off guard. True. Catch him with their pants down. Meanwhile, yep, there it is. So if you recall, we just spoke about how aggression is favored on Pylon, but it goes both ways, and here it's going both ways. Stargate opener into a very fast Twilight Council. Now, we'll keep an eye on the gateways here. This could be Stargate into... Oh, I was going to say Stargate into Glaive Adepts. Technically, if we stay on a low gas count, this could be Stargate into Charge. That is also a viable option, but I'm leaning more towards Glaives. The Overlord Scout comes in, the Phoenix is on the way, and the Overlord will see everything. 3 gateways alongside the 4th gate that's already done, alongside the Twilight Council. This should be Glaives. This is Glaive Adepts, as you can see here. And again, Silky sees everything. He confirms at this timing, there shouldn't be tech here. It's already done. He knows what's coming. What do we need? Roaches. We should be seeing a Roach Warren as a response here. Technically, you can respond with Banelings, with a Baneling Nest, but it is so risky trying to defend against this kind of build with Banelings. So we should soon be seeing a Roach Warren at around 4 minutes. If we go any later than that, then I'm going to be very concerned. Oh, okay, he's crazy. Baneling Nest response. Again, as you just mentioned, it is possible. It is viable. You can do this. But it is so much more risky here. The reason for this is because you need your Banelings to be in position. They need to be able to keep up with the shade, keep up with the shades of the Adepts, deny the shades, and then you can surround and lock down the army. But again, this is a much more fragile response. It's a lot more risky. It is still possible, but takes a lot more. It takes a lot more skill, I should say, to pull off. God damn it, Eva. Let's go. Just catching with the chat. Saludos a Chiri, mi rey. Ajá. Saludos, papi, saludos. Buenos días. Buenos días. As Adepts are moving out, Banelings are on the way. We have a faster lair as well here out of our Zerg player. And Firefly, is he skipping more pins? He is. He's teching. Ooh. I mean, okay, a couple things are happening here. One, Firefly got scouted, right? Firefly, he got scouted early. He got scouted very early on, and he is choosing, he is deciding to skip warpins and to tech up into a Robo, into a Forge, into +1, into Charge, into a third base. Third base was already going to be there anyway. This was not a 2-base all-in, but he's now teching up faster, skipping warpins, and he is not committing with the Adepts. He's respecting Silky quite a bit. I do like this. I do like this. Basically, what we're seeing here is that Firefly's like, you know what? Because you scouted me, you're probably going to shut me down. You know what? You're probably going to shut me down. I don't believe that I'm going to be able to catch you off guard. Without that surprise factor, I'm not going to be able to break you. So you know what? We're getting into a different kind of game state. Likewise, the Phoenix does scout the Lingbanes. Now he knows no roaches. It is going to be Lingbane Hydra. And I favor Silky in this game state because Silky, he went for a very greedy response. He got away with it. He's not wasting money on roaches. He is preserving his gas and getting away with a much faster Hydra Den. So a very efficient setup here from Silky. And he's going to excel here against Charge, against Immortals, against all things Protoss. Assuming that he can actually build up his army, of course. So yeah, I really like this setup here. As I'll say, get across the map to delay expansions. We can see that Silky, he's actually not droning. Ooh, he's going for 3-base all-in. Okay. Very decisive move here by Silky. He's going for a 3-base all-in. He will deny the 4th at least, but he needs more than that. Denying the 4th base is nice, but he needs more damage. Oh my god, the Banelings, they crash in. They shut down. Yeah, there's nothing. Banelings, they shut down the Gateway Army, as we did mention. These Banelings, they clean through everything. The Adepts and the Charge lots. No Archons. No Stalkers, no nothing. Banelings, they waddle in. They shut down the Mineral Light. And Silky, he is here to make a series out of this game. He's here to make a series out of this. He's not going to go down 3-0. No shot. He's here to bring it to game 4 and potentially the ace match as well. As I say that, Zealots are wreaking havoc across the map. It's getting chaotic. It is getting quite chaotic here. Oh, as Banelings, they crash into the mineral line, they shut down the natural, now pushing in towards the main. At the same time, Zealots are also wreaking havoc across the map as well. Ooh, where's the hold position micro though? Nice hold position micro out of Silky. Firefly, he's stuck on A move. There we go. Does hold position as well, as all the probes are going down. Now, my concern here, we are spending, okay, decent connections. I was going to say that we're spending a lot of Banelings across the map to kill probes. They're not being spent to kill Zealots. So with limited income here, and Silky is running out of money because he's losing everything, now there are no Banelings to deal with this army. This is getting a little bit scary. There are no Banelings left. There's still some mining going on, still some extra war pins. Firefly, can he win a head-on fight with pure Zealot? He's going for the bait. I like this. He's going for the bait in the nest. Yeah, he does get us around. Ooh, he has to recall. He has to recall back home. And can he fight this army? Zealots take collapse in. Nice kiting here from Silky. He kites well. Lings are falling. And there are more Lings. Yeah, there are more. Yeah, he's fine. Yeah, there are more Zerglings. Nice kiting here from Silky. Silky takes down the main army, and Silky, he has done it. He's done it, Pappy. Let's go. Again, just barely not enough Zealots there for Firefly. Barely not. The base goes down. No Nexus left. Just a handful of Zealots. Let's go. GG gets called, and Silky, he takes game number 3. He will make a series out of this. We have a back and forth. We're going to game 4. Let's go. Whew. Let's go, Pappy. Let's go. GG, well played. Again, so much did happen there as well. Silky, his response to the Glaive Adepts with Banelings was a really risky decision, but the correct one. Clearly the correct one here. As we were mentioning, he was cutting corners. He was cutting corners. He was not spending and wasting gas on roaches. He went for the Ling Bane response. Firefly, because he got scouted, he just assumed, you're gonna have roaches, you'll be fine against me, you'll defend, you'll shut me down. Let me transition out of this into charge of all things. And Ling Bane is ideal against units like Adepts, like Chargelots as well. And we saw that Silky went for the kill. Remember, he cut workers at 60. It was like 60, maybe 63 at most. But around like 60 to 63 workers did cut worker production. He got a 4th base just for Larva, and he just doubled down. He just committed into the all-in, and we saw that there was nothing to defend. There was only Zealots, and the Zealots, they melted against those charge lots. They did nothing, Pappy. They did nothing. They did kill some workers across the map, which did cause like a base trade scenario, which was the best case scenario there for Firefly. It was probably the best case scenario that he had, but in the end, alas, even though he was killing all the drones, he could not deal with the Ling Hydra, Ling Bane Hydra of Silky. GG, well played. Whew. With that, we're now getting into game number 4, and we'll see, is this the beginning of the comeback? Can we go to the ace match? Game 4 is going to be on Ultra Love. Now, if you remember, I did mention how I was favoring Silky on some of these smaller maps, less so on the larger ones, because you can be hyper aggressive, and that is what Silky is. He is aggressive, right? This 3-base all-in follow-up would be less effective on Tokamak, on Maganatha, on ley lines. It will not hit as hard, it will not hit as fast, it will not hit as quickly. But here, Ultra Love is up next. Also, smaller map, known for all-ins. Ultra Love is known for all-ins, so once again, if Silky is given an opportunity, he will take it. He will take it here, so again, we'll see if Silky can break Firefly once again and force that ace match. We'll see what build he goes for. We'll see what build he does decide to go for. The pressure is on. It's on both players, but likewise, momentum now stripped away from Firefly. It's being stripped away. Let's go. Alright, let's go. Just got back home, dying from heat. Oh, look after yourself. Hydrate. Make sure to hydrate. Drink plenty of water. Cuidado, papi, cuidado. Take care of yourself. Take care, papi. Whew. But again, here we go. We're getting into game number 4, and spawning in the top right-hand corner here of Ultra Love, we have the Chinese Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing Team Super Kitty and putting a point on the board. It is Silky. Look, I like how he zooms in, then zooms out. He's like, huh. It's so quick. In the other hand corner, we have the Chinese Brothers player. We have the Red Brothers. This is Firefly. Like, you blink and you miss it, Pappy. Oh, no. He's playing with me. He's like, he's gonna mistime the fanfare. And I am mistiming it. Ay. Calm down, Pat. Calm down. Whew, but here we go. We're now getting here into our next game, into game 4. We have a back and forth. We have a series. And I'm hoping for an ace match, regardless of how this goes. If this goes the way of Firefly, this goes the way of Silky, I want to see a game 5. Take us all the way, Pappy, all the way. Send it. So as we're loading into a smaller map, I don't expect to see a fast lair. I say that. Now, the last time we saw Silky on Ultra Love was actually the ace match against Nice, if you recall. And what did he do on Ultra Love against Nice in the ace match in game 5? He did go for the 4-minute lair into fast hydrogen, into fast lurkers. He went into a lurker rush, and it was successful. He was able to wedge himself in between the bases and overwhelm Nice. Did happen, did occur. So because of that, that is now something that's in the back of my mind, at least. But I don't know, I'm not too fond of the idea of rushing into faster tech against Firefly. I feel like he is one to punish that sort of play. We'll see. Based on what we saw in that Muta game, of course. Based on what we saw in Tokamak, for now it is going to be a Stargate opener out of Firefly. So far, so standard. So far, so good. As we have our initial Overlord poking in. Does poke in, does confirm the Stargate. Now that's Silky is now aware. And we have the Oracle first. The Oracle is on the way. This time there's no crazy Twilight Council timing out of Firefly. Not this time. He had his fun in game number 3. Now the fun is over. I was like, oh god, I can't just clown my opponent back. I gotta lock in. It's true, does have to. As Lings, they move out to get eyes on the third. We do have the third base here as a linear at the linear location, so linear third base out of Firefly. Silky is aware. Behind this, massing up more Lings. And the Firefly opened up double Oracle. We should soon be seeing a third Oracle. There we go. Third Oracle's on the way. So really safe play there by Firefly. There it is, early lair. That is a 4:12-ish lair timing out of our Zerg player. We mentioned earlier, what did we see out of Silky the last time we saw him on this map? We saw a rush into Hydras and rush into Lurkers. So this is looking like the same build so far. It's looking the same. Rush into Hydras. So our eyes are on Silky. Oracle's a poke in. If you remember, this build specifically skips Evo Chambers. Does skip Evo Chambers. And so far I don't see any chambers. So far we're droning, making more Lings. The Lings, their purpose is to keep the Protoss player at home, keep him busy. Keep them pinned. As yet, more gases are being taken, getting up to 6 gases. What's the tech going to be? Sorry, getting up to 5 gases. Not 6 yet. Is it going to be the Spire? Is it going to be the Hydrogen? Again, typically with the Spire, you do still want an Eva Chamber. Yeah, there it is, Hydras. So this is the same build. So as we called at the start of the game, this is the same build that we saw previously. Hydrogen, Baneling Nest. This should lead into fast Lurkers. It doesn't have to. Like, technically, this could still be a 3-base Ling Bane Hydra all-in. That's what this still could be. But we are taking 6. That's a lot of gas. 6 gases here. Ooh. Stasis goes off, but I believe, yeah, that still blocks the expansion. Ay, ay, ay. Still does block. There's that lurker den, yep, as we mentioned. So this is the same build. Rushing into lurkers. Now, the downside is lack of upgrades, but the upside, of course, as we're about to see, is that lurker timing, which can be brutal. So it's going to be all or nothing here for Silky. It's basically an all-in. Just rush into lurkers and try to end the game with that lurker timing. Oh boy. We'll see if he can pull it off. We can see, oh, Silky forced to expand on the left-hand side. A very isolated expansion. It's going to be difficult to maintain. As Stalkers, they kite back. Nice stasis. Stasis does go off here on the Lings. Oh. Likewise, trading with the Hydras. Hydras are revealed. First wave of lurkers on the way. Ooh, they're exposed. Firefly, he wants them. Nice revelation. Now he's aware. He didn't scout earlier. He wasn't aware of the lurker, but now he's aware of the lurkers. Firefly does know. Back at home, Temple Archives on the way. He's getting in and taking in towards Storm, towards Archons. He needs Immortal production as well. Otherwise, it's going to be a tough hold. As lurkers, they zone the army away. They zone back the army. Silky moving in. Does burrow. And we can see here Firefly just buying time. God damn it. Every time. The stasis though. Stasis goes off. Nice connection. Ooh, one lurker does not go down. But it is exposed. Yeah, it's going to be exposed here. Likewise, lurkers, they do move in. And again, the win condition here is to get in between the bases. Weakened lurker pulls away. I love the attention to detail there from Silky. Charge is done in a couple of seconds. Banelings have finished morphing. They hit to punish those charge thoughts. And here comes the surround. Yeah, here comes around. Nice connections. Banelings, they crash into Zealots initially, but more Zealots are coming in. There's just so many Zealots. And the surround is brutal. The surround is brutal. Not enough Banelings. And with that Firefly, he cleans up every single lurker. The 360 surround. Ay, ay, ay. Despite the Banelings, not good enough. And that's gonna be it. So remember, this was an all-in. This was a lurker timing. The game had to end. And technically, the game is going to end, but not the way that Silky was hoping. As that had to kill a Firefly. In the end, it was completely shut down. Dives on the final lurkers. They're not going to finish. They're not going to morph in. And with that Firefly, he has done it. We had a series. We had it back and forth. But GG gets called. And Firefly, he will take the series 3-2. Sorry, 3-1. 3-1. And advance on to the lower bracket finals. GG. Ooh, GG, well played. Congratulations here. Congratulations to Firefly. Again, Silky did make a series out of it. He did have some unique builds. It was great to see Silky whip out the lurker rushes and the spire rushes as well. He was able to flex them both against Firefly and against Nice as well. But alas, in the end, GG. Firefly, he was very well set up for it. He had a beautiful surround set up as well. Despite the Banelings being there, we saw the staggered Zealots, so they didn't all come in at the same time. The Baneling connections were not ideal. And again, that surround was insane. Lurker shots wasted being spent or being shot in every which direction. GG well played. A beautiful setup there by Firefly, and with that, we are getting ready for our next set of matches. Firefly, he will advance on into the next round. Who is waiting for him? Lemon, the Taiwanese Protoss player, is waiting in the next round. Have these two already faced off? They have not. They've so far avoided each other in the tournament, but they both share a commonality, I should say. Firefly went down to Lancer 3-2. Lemon went down to Lancer 3-2 as well. They both went down to Lancer. They both share that in common. And how do they compare to each other? I'll be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if we get another ace match. Another ace match here between Lemon and Firefly. That is, I mean, in my mind, that would make sense. For now, though, we are going to be going on a break. We're going to be going on a short break here. waiting, I say short break, waiting for the vetoes to complete, waiting for the vetoes to finalize before getting into our second last series of the broadcast. Up next, I mean, we tried to do our best to avoid those PvPs for as long as possible, but we can only avoid them for so long. It is going to be a PvP matchup between Firefly and Lemon, then another PvP against Lancer in the grand finals. Remember, the top player here, one player will qualify for the Esports World Cup. Which player? Yet to be determined. Yet to be determined here. So for now, we're going to be going on that break, and when we return, when we come back, we will have that lower bracket finals. Take this time to get some snacks, get some food, get some water, drain your disruptors, massage your marines, and hydrate every one of your hydras. We'll be back soon with that PvP. We'll be back soon with Firefly and Lemon. See you soon. See you soon, Pappy. See you soon.